I was an addict, addicted, struggling. And my family turned their back on me, disowned me. And now that I'm all put back together after rehab, I got a kid now, I got a wife. My parents want to meet my son. No. You see, I'm 30 years old. And in 2020, I was addicted. I was addicted bad. And I'm not gonna lie, I did some bad stuff. I did some pretty bad stuff that I own up to. I accept the repercussions. Everything that resulted as of, from my habit. I accept. Because I stole. I stole from my family. I stole a video game. I stole money out of purses. I did a lot of bad stuff to feed my addiction. And when my parents found out, they basically disowned me. They didn't want to talk to me. They didn't want to see me. They basically dropped me off at the steps of rehab. And that was it. They didn't even pay for the rehab. They dropped me off on the steps. And I remember calling them and calling them and calling them, trying to update them on my progress, tell them I'm doing great, I'm doing good, I'm getting better. Nothing. The day I got out of rehab, I went to my parents' house. And they told me that I am no longer their son. They don't want to see me again. I cannot be trusted. I tried to go to my grandma's house. She told me that my parents have called everybody in the family to let them know that I'm not to be trusted. Don't let me in. I'm no longer part of the family. They basically ostracized me from everybody. I was homeless. I went, stayed in the shelter. I got a little rinky-dink job, got me an apartment, worked my way up, and went back to school. I went back to school online while working to finish my degree, struggling. I eventually got offered a good job in a different state. I moved as soon as I could. I moved. I started going to therapy to get over the grief of loss. It's a different type of grief when you're grieving over people that are still living. But I managed. 3 years ago, I met my beautiful wife. And her father struggled with addiction in the past too, so we bonded over that. We bonded. And they accepted me with open arms. Now, we're married and we have a kid. She just had him. We have a 3-month-old beautiful baby boy. Beautiful. And like any proud father would, I post them online. I post them on social media. And I don't follow any of my family members, of course, because they told me I wasn't part of the family. I remember I liked one post because I could go through my mom's Facebook to see my sister growing up. I have a 17-year-old sister. And I liked the post. And they told me, everybody's going to block me. I can see the post, but never interact with it. So, anyway, like any proud father, I post my son online. Happy to be a dad. Welcome, baby boy. I'm getting calls now. I'm getting messages from family members that wouldn't even look my way. Your parents want to meet your son. No. Well, you owe it to them. They basically lost a son. Now they can get a new son, basically. No. I called my parents directly to talk to them. And not in the nicest words or nicest tone, I let them know. I understand why you guys did what you did. But you basically cast me out of the family and told everybody else to avoid me. You basically isolated me from everybody. You won't be able to meet my wife, my son, or me. You won't have to worry about ever seeing us in person. And I talked to some people about that after I told my parents. And they were telling me that I might could have handled it a different way. But by no means do I ever want to let them. They're not going to persuade me to change my mind. But me and my wife talked a bit, and she and I agreed that we should see what they want after all these years, right? So my dad is one of those people that wants to control everything. And my mom is just up under my dad, up under his arm, agreeing with everything. So when I talked to my dad with my wife present on a Zoom call, it was all on a Zoom call, and my dad said he wanted to pass his family business to me. But when he seen that I was addicted, he knew that I could not be trusted with his business. Now that I have a new son, he wants to pass the business down to my son. But they want to intervene. They want to basically raise my son because I am incapable, because I was an addict. So in order for my son not to fall down the same path, they want to step in. He said that they still want nothing to do with me, and that I am still an outcast. So my wife kindly hung up for me, and I will be standing by my decision of them never meeting my son.